What's going on? Thank you so much for checking out this video. We know your time is valuable, so we're going to jump straight into the top 3 tips that we use for our clients and for our own web properties each and every single day in our agency to help get them to the top of search results, which no business owner cares where they're ranked in Google. We get the calls too. Some people are trying to call us and say, hey, we can get you ranked in Google, pay us X amount per month. And we actually provide a higher quality level, and here's why. We focus on getting you where over 7% of the marketplace are coming for a local service provider in this map listing, and a couple spots down here as well. And unfortunately, other companies only focus on these rankings. We focus on getting you results. If we're not driving results, we don't want your money. So that's what sets us apart. And we're going to be very transparent on the top 3 things that we focus on each and every day in order to get your web presence exactly where it's optimized for a ringing phone. So first, we start off with looking at the population in your marketplace. We obviously want something that's over 100,000. That's going to get you more chances for more call volume. Once it starts getting below 100,000, we start seeing call volume drop significantly. So you're in a good position for that. Second, we looked at your website, and when you're in Google Chrome, you can hover over this tab and see what the actual page title is. And this is a ranking factor. This actually tells Google what you want to be found for, what you want to be most relevant. At the end of the day, Google is a proximity game in the local space, as well as a relevancy conversation. So you want to tell them that you want to be found first for beauty salon or other phrases that are services that beauty salons actually service. Then you want to make sure that it's dialed in not only on your homepage, but also in other parts, what we call on-page SEO. So we found you showing up for Trendz Salon and threading because that's the very first thing you put in there. Unfortunately, how many people are searching for your company versus, and I'm just being fully transparent here, versus looking for a service in your specific city, or maybe they flip this around, Norman, Oklahoma, beauty salon. Chances are people are searching on that more. I understand everybody wants to be a household name, but everybody also has to start somewhere. And just like attorneys that are fresh out of law school, they think that the best way to get more business in is to try and be the best and toot their horn. At the end of the day, your customers are just looking for somebody to call and ask what their pricing is. And don't you want to be the first one that they actually have front of mind and actually call? In order to do that, you got to be in this coveted map listing. So you can be found for search terms like beauty salon, threading, microblading, hair salon even. So you have beauty salon and hair salon. They're different, okay? Even though they're synonyms and they're relative to the topic, they are different in Google's eyes. So you want to be relevant for these. And even weave, for example. But what's going on with your domain here? There's something called a subdomain. And what are we talking about? Well, you have trendsalonandthreading.business.site. If you were to try and do SEO on this, it would be troublesome. And here's why. This is a news site, and they have their company name, so it's sembusinessreview.com. Their subdomain, so I'm on an internal page right here. It says /SEM Business Spotlight. So they spotlight businesses. They're a local business service provider, right? Well, you can have it look like this for your internal pages, or it can look like this, sembusinessspotlight.sembusinessreview.com. So these are essentially referring, for lack of a better phrase, they're essentially referring to the same kind of page. Now, I'm not saying this is universally appropriated, but keep in mind that these are 2 different ways that you can identify a subdomain to a business. So what does that mean? It means that when you have the domain that you purchase at a registrar like Namecheap.com, so SEM Business Review, or in your case, TrendZSalonandThreading.com, for example, okay? You would have this as a primary domain. And when you have another website that you're trying to acquire, it be Aunt Jemima's AwesomePancakeHouse.com, right? The homepage on most of these, if you get really deep into the code, it's /index.html. So this is technically a subdomain. It's identifying your homepage. So every other internal page has a / something like this, or they have internal page.domain.com, which is exactly what's going on over here. So this is going to be troublesome for you to try and rank, because even though you're pushing some backlinks here, at the end of the day, you have an age factor, which it seems you're pretty young at, and you also have maybe one page here, and you need multiple pages as well as multiple backlinks. We'll get into all that. But we're going to kick this off with the top 3 tips after that free bonus tip here of what Google is looking for in order to rank you at the top of search results. So tip number 1 is to provide high quality content, meaning words on your page, especially on your homepage, as they say right here. Google takes the time to take this a step further to say content is the single most important thing to do. So if you were to do a search for just about anything on the World Wide Web, what's the one thing that always comes up? It's Wikipedia. You could be searching for elephants or this boxer, you name it. And why? Well, we're not even halfway down the page, and look at how many words are on this page. Now, a lot of business owners, they just think, oh, I want a business calling card. Well, don't you want it to actually get you more business and have it do its job, or do you just want to randomly pay for a business calling card that's actually more expensive than business cards, just for kicks, just because everybody else and their grandmother has one online today? If you want it to produce results, listen to what we're telling you. So you're going to want to follow Wikipedia's example, and you're going to want to put more words on your page. In addition to getting your own site hosted somewhere instead of a subdomain, if you want to own this website instead of rent it from Google, you need to pay for web hosting. So you go buy your domain over at Namecheap, you go get a web hosting, and we can consult you on that later. And then you also got to dial in, make sure it's mobile responsive, so when you drag this down to the width of a cell phone, everything reacts as yours does. So that's a good situation that you're in right now. Next, you want to put high quality content on there. You're sitting at 228 words. Your competition over here, they're sitting at 308 words. So they're whooping you over here. And it's not by much, but you want to beat them by a landslide. Business is all about competition. Welcome to reality. So in order to beat them out, you need to get a minimum, and I always advocate this, a bare minimum of 1,000 words as a starting point for your homepage. And you need to get more pages on your website. It can't be just one page that you scroll down all the way on. So get more words on your page. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is talking about something called a local business citation. What is this? Well, for any and all local businesses, it's any online mention of your business's name, address, and phone number. You might have seen this as NAP on how many marketers have been saying they can help you and try to pitch you something like this. But at the end of the day, it's a local citation. You're essentially citing your company online, just like if you were writing an essay in college or school and you had a bibliography at the end, you had to write your citation, cite your sources. This is the exact same idea, but it's for businesses. These can be found in local business directories, websites and applications, whether it's on desktop or mobile devices, and even on social media platforms. So if you do this right and you have your GMB or your Google Map listing dialed in, if you don't have that, fine, go to google.com/business or /places, dial it in, put more pictures on there, put more posts, engage with the people, and get reviews on there as well. And then you can dial in your citations and have them act as a vote, because you're taking your exact name, address, and phone number out of your GMB and putting it to third-party locations on the World Wide Web. Now, you first have to have your boat in the water in order for your boat to rise with the tide. And there are 20 listings on each of these pages. We happen to have overlooked you. If we did, we apologize, but we looked and we probably couldn't find you on the first page. And there's 20 listings here. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, a minimum about 180 to almost 200 businesses just servicing or targeting this region alone. And instead of deep diving, we just need to tell you that the best place to hide a dead body is on the second page of Google. And that's a metaphor that a lot of marketers use, but it's actually true, because hardly anybody actually goes to the second page to try and consider somebody as a service provider. And if you want to be in this coveted map pack where you're getting over 70% of the marketplace searching for somebody like you, they're not just searching for kicks. They're going to spend money with somebody. Do you want them to consider you first for spending money with somebody, especially for a beauty salon or hair salon? Then you need to get on this like yesterday. And you can either outsource the citations to us or you can do it on your own. Here's how to do it on your own. You can come up to a listing right here. We actually go after 300 locations as the best bang for your buck. We're professionals. We've been doing this a while. This picture right here gives you about 100 here. And you can do a free search to find citation locations if you want to. But you will have to go into these one by one by one by one. And we're going to use Bing and Yelp as an example. You can do 4 of these or 5 of these before work, maybe during business hours when you're supposed to be putting out fires or helping clients. You could do it after work and put off dinner. Or if you have kids and you need to put them to bed, you can burn the midnight oil doing this. You can still outsource it. We have that option. But if you still want to do this, here's how you do it. You go into one of these accounts and you create an account. You have to wait for it to be approved, so that's going to take some time. Once it's approved, you can actually go back in and claim your business listing. Once you have your business listing claimed, then you need to build it out. And you need to put your name, address, and phone number, like we discussed, exactly as it matches from your Google Map listing. After that, you need to build this out because these can act as calling cards. How do I know? I was helping a tree service company and I built their Yelp listing. They weren't even on the third page of Google yet, and they were already getting calls. They were coming from the Yelp listing. So these act as more lines in the water. You don't know where your next client's going to come from, so having more lines in the water means more eyes are going to be on your company. So we're trying to help you with that, but once you build these out, build them out well. Name, address, and phone number. We're also going to put business hours, your website, an email address if it's available, a logo, an exterior picture of your business, a picture of your team, a picture of your truck if you're if you go out and you help people. A lot of companies have been turning more toward mobile services instead of holding strictly an establishment. So if that's something you want to do, post a picture on there. And there are creative ways that you can build out these GMBs and all these other things. Now you need to submit it for verification. Yes, we're not done yet. And then once you submit it for verification, companies like Yelp, for example, are going to call you, claim, oh, we just need to verify that you submitted this. Really what they're trying to do is get you on the phone so they can upsell you to one of their marketing and advertising packages, which a lot of business owners I've spoken with are not happy with their experience with Yelp. They lock them into a long-term contract, and when they find out they aren't getting any leads, they can't get out of it. We're different because we don't lock you into a long-term contract. It's month to month. But if you still want to go after some of these things, just keep in mind, and I'm inoculating you for this is a necessary evil for you to get those marketing calls. They'll die down after a few weeks, but you still got to do 5 of these a day until you're done with this listing. And still, you're only at 100 instead of the 300 best bang for your buck that we can go after. Now, if you do those right, they will act as a vote and help to push this up. Now, this is not an end-all be-all. You don't just do citations and expect to get calls. This is an all-encompassing strategy with citations with your SEO. Okay, we're doing content, citations with your GMB, and then this third component we're going to be talking about called a backlink. Again, we're going back to Google's own words. So we've all seen clickable text right here. So when you hover over it and you see this web link in the lower left here, it says support.google.com. So this is page A. There's a link on page A. We click it, it goes over to page B. I'm arbitrarily labeling these because Google interprets this whole situation as a vote. And the more votes back in the day, you won the top spot. Well, Google's gotten smarter. They came out with a patent in 2013 that now aggregated all of your backlinks online to be do follow or no follow. Like, they've sorted them out, and they want you to be topically relevant. They just don't want random, not quality backlinks. And a lot of people back in the day used to do that. So we have this little tool that we have in our Google Chrome web browser. It's called SEO Quick. It gives us a little toolbar right here so we can get a quick analysis of what's going on with your website. So clearly you've been around very, very young according to this website, and you haven't been around long enough for them to actually aggregate an age. Plus, this is also a tool. Tools are not perfect. They're created by people. People are not perfect. So this could also be a glitch. But this gives me a good snapshot to see you only have one page indexed online and you have 3 backlinks. Whereas one of your competitors, even though they don't have security on their website, they're still sitting at 82 pages indexed on Google, which means they definitely have more content than you, and they have about 31 backlinks here. So if you want to beat them out and you want to get to the top here and get to the coveted map listing where 70% of the marketplace are coming to find somebody to spend money with, content, citations, and backlinks with a mobile responsive website and an SSL security certificate that you own, instead of renting it from Google like it looks like you're doing, then have a conversation with us. If you think we have a few tricks up your sleeve to help you get more clients in the door, hit reply to the email that you got this from, or however you got this. Just hit reply. Let us know you want to schedule a quick 18-minute conversation to see if it's a fit. We're not a hard pressure close company. If it's not a good fit, fine. We'll go make someone else rich. But we don't want to miss this opportunity to help you. We see an opportunity to help you and help you to bring in more customers. That's why we're reaching out. And if you're interested in that, just schedule a quick call. We'll see if it's a fit, and we'll talk to you soon.